Awesome. 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 Well, thanks for coming today to learn more about Outlook. I'm hoping that we can put some great tips in your head so that you can get better at using Outlook and becoming more organized. Give me an idea, you guys in the chat, how many items might be in your inbox, for example. Like, do we have anybody over 100 in your inbox? So maybe these are emails. Well, they would be emails, but maybe have you read them? Have you not read them? A thousand. Um, yeah, and you don't have to turn your video on. Um, just had a message about that. You don't have to turn your video on if you don't want to. Yeah, so I'm curious about all your numbers. 200 plus a day. You get 200 emails plus in a day, April. Wow. So how many are in your inbox now? Right? I don't even want to tell you how many are in mine. You'll see in a minute. However, I'm using kind of a fake account. Two emails you have in you get 200 a day and you have two in your inbox. Holy smokes. What do you do with the other 198 of them? We'll be talking a lot about that today. So we are going to explore a lot of different things that have with the idea of being organized, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to apply this right away. We love doing these free Fridays. They are in November, October and November. We do them to get the word out about we do these custom classes. I did this session for another client here a couple of months ago. They got to pick the date and the time. There was handouts available on that. It wasn't for free. And we'd love to come and do these for your groups. And we do 1 hour like this. We do 2 hours. We do 3 hours. We do 6 hours. We do 12 hours, 10 hours, whatever. We can talk more about that. So please, please, please leave us a review. I've been doing these sessions and I've gotten like just about zero reviews. I think one person did a review for me. So who on the call today would be willing to write a review after the session today? Okay. All right. So I'm my name's Joanne Swenzard. I think I know most of you, or I've at least had you on a call. Um, and yeah, Know It Sooner Computer Training. We're based in Edmonton, but obviously most of you are not from the area, so we kind of train everybody everywhere. Asked for my reviews. I wanted to talk about my book. Some of you will remember the 2 years ago, I did a one tip a day um, book. I'll just stop the sharing for just a second here. And I have made that book let me stop my sharing for a minute. I have made my calendar that I did because it was a lot of work to do dates and stuff. It wasn't actually that much work, but it was, anyway, what I've done is I've made it into a book, a 5 by 8 book. This is just a proof, but basically it's one tip a day. And it doesn't have any dates on it. So that is going to be on Amazon very shortly. Kind of proud of it. I've got a few things to do to it yet. There's some changes that I want to make. I did this whole thing in Microsoft Word, merged it to an Excel spreadsheet with all my tips in it. And yeah, so that's going to be available to you on Amazon. So expect probably an email on that. Okay, so some of you might have already got one. Some of you actually 2 years ago when I did it, you even helped me sell a bunch. So that's amazing. And I've gotten some really good feedback on that. So today, if you want to rewatch this session, I've got a YouTube channel and I've got lots of stuff on there. Got 41, nope, 39 videos on there. So each of the free Fridays go up there. So that's why I was saying if you want to have your camera on, fine. If you don't, then that's fine too, if you don't want to be on camera. And while I'm there, we do have some events coming up. Most of you, well, all of you would have come to this page to get the link for today. And then I've got some in the new year that are longer. So 6 hours long. Those ones aren't free, but these classes here are a little bit feeders into those classes. So yeah. All right. Those are public classes. So Outlook. What are some of, while I'm yapping here, what are some of your issues in Outlook? I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to cover them all today, but these are some of the ideas that I had today, just talking about different ways to view your emails. And there's something called conversation view, which you might find really interesting, and putting things in a new window. And sometimes I just put things up here so I don't forget to talk about them. Sorting and searching, we'll talk about. Dragging things around is incredibly powerful, and flagging messages. Janet and I were just talking about having reminders and things like that. You can flag your messages or you can drag them into a task window. We'll talk lots about putting things into folders. And do you want to automatically put it into a folder with a rule, or do you want a button that will make you do it manually, but manually quickly? Anything in your anything that anyone would like to bring up before we kind of get started here? Any of these, does it look like good stuff? I'm going to bring my Outlook up, and please know that this is not my Outlook that I um, use every day with people. So I would never bring up my inbox, my regular inbox, and have emails from Janet and I sent about 10 this morning back and forth. I'd never open any of those up and, say, hey, let's look at this email. These ones have probably all been sent to me in error. This Austin Peters, I'm going to open his because I don't know who he is. So Grand West Auto, looks like there was some Joanne somewhere that thought about ordering some kind of thing, and he's saying, hey, you still want to order this? So lots of Joannes think that they have the account called Joanne at Outlook.com, but I don't use this at all. So please don't email me on this one because I will only get it when I'm doing things like this. So I have about 50,000 emails in here. Maybe we can clean some of them up today. All right. So nobody's got anything specific to cover, please put in the chat if you do. I'm going to drag that chat window over here so I can keep a little bit more of an eye on it. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So first couple things dealing with your inbox. Now, most of you probably have this line on your in your inbox, and it has to do with how you're sorted. So this is the first thing in maintaining kind of a clean inbox, is dealing with that line. So right now I'm sorted by received. And so whenever I get one in, of course, it goes up to the top there. And there we go. Just had to put my little annotate thingy thing on. So we're going to keep an eye on that line. Now, what is that line for exactly? That line is for you to deal with things, everything in there. So for example, let's say that I'm cleaning my inbox out and I really want to get rid of, this one and this one and this one, and I want to get rid of them all. Oh, you know what? Let's back up. I want to just get rid of these four, right? I can't read that. I'm just going to get rid of them. I'm going to click on one. I'm going to hold my shift key down. I'm going to click on the last one. Okay, that has been around for 100 years, that keystroke, right? Click, shift, click, gets from here to there. I'm going to hit delete. And where does that go? That goes into my deleted items, and then I have to go and delete it from there. Now, if you want to delete and make sure that it's gone forever, does anybody know this one? You're going to click. I don't care. Let's do it different this time. Let's say I want to delete this one. So I'm using my control key this time, using my control key to just kind of flip through them. This is something that I do every morning. I'll do this. I'll save the ones in between that I want to keep, and I'm like, oh no, I don't really want that. Don't really want that. I don't really want to unsubscribe to it because maybe I want it one day, but not today. Not today. So click, control click, control click, control click, control click. Now, if I use delete, it's going to go to the inbox. So here's a keystroke for you. Shift delete. This bypasses the inbox. So this will be permanently deleted. Are you sure? Don't say it didn't warn you because it's gone. It will not go to the deleted. How many of you like that one? That sure cleans them up, doesn't it? It also does not only cleans up your inbox, but it cleans up your deleted as well. So be careful on that one though, because if you delete something by mistake, depending on your system, sometimes you can get it back. So if you're in a big organization, then there's probably a recover button or something like that. But just sort of consider it gone. Okay. Now, I was mentioning this line. Whenever you see a line like that, you can go up to the top of the line and you can delete. So you can either delete or shift delete. It doesn't really matter. So how many do I have here? About 6 or 7. I can go to the top and I can just hit shift delete and it warns me, hey, you've clicked on one of those lines. It's like a group line. It's going to apply to everything in the group. So all of the things within this 2 week window, because that's how I happen to be sorted. Is that okay with me? Yep. And then it actually goes off and does that. This will be permanently deleted. Yeah, good. Gone. Yeah. April, what about rules? What about rules on that? You can set up a rule to to delete. I'm not sure what you're really meaning there. What about rules? I don't know when you
Like,
sent
what
that.
about if you have like a specific something that is kind of junk? Like we get like these emails about, IT stuff that's been fixed or whatever. So we create rules to then they don't go to my inbox. They immediately go into either a file folder that I've created or they go in the garbage.
Yeah.
And so I make rules for, certain things that I know that I don't need to read or I don't
Hmm.
need to look at. But
Yeah.
if I want to keep it, then I can throw it into a file folder
Right.
so that if I need to go and actually look at it one day, that it's there.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it'll mark it red and throw it into the folder, or I make another rule that it'll permanently just be gone and I don't have to see all that garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a few rules like that too, and I did plan on covering that. This is a great time to do that because sometimes, like you're absolutely right. You don't want to have to deal with it every day. You want to see it. So let's say I don't know this nail jar. I don't even know what that is. Looks like some nail place. So if I want to put this into a folder or something like that, it does help to have the folder created ahead of time. But I can go to it and the right mouse button on here is extremely beneficial here. Like it's so great because it's got so many things here. It does have rules. There are some rules, create rule, like you can um, do a lot of things with this. This one here, it's kind, let me just back up one because there's one that's even a little bit easier. It says always move messages from the nail jar. Right? So this would be her IT people. Always move messages from blah, 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 blah. And then where? Where do you want to put them? So I have a few created here already. Maybe the nail jar is, I don't know, it has to do with travel. I don't know. I could always create one here as well. So, well, this is deleted. I didn't clean up from last time, but you can pick it here. You can pick one here, or you can just go new or whatever. So you can pick one. Let's go here and let's go new and let's say beauty. Actually, I'm going to back up. I'm going to go saved emails. So I always do a saved emails first, saved emails. I'm going to click on that. And then it creates the saved emails. I'm not going to put anything directly in there. I'm going to go new again. I'm doing kind of doing a funny way of creating folders, but I wanted to show you how to do the rule, but I didn't have any folders created yet. So I created one called beauty within here. Okay. So, and then I could create more in there. That's why I do it. So it doesn't, they're not all over the left-hand side. So that's going to automatically take anything from there and put it automatically in, there's my saved emails, because I have to wait. And there looks like there is just one. Now the one indicates that it's one unread. It doesn't mean I have only one thing in there, right? Look at my inbox says 7,422, whereas I just told you that I had 50,000 in there. Well, I might have less one now because it moved this one in there. So that just means that that's how many are read. Sorry, unread. Yeah. Okay. So tons of rules for tons of things. I could probably do a whole hour just on rules because if we go in there and we say create rule, look at all the different things, types of different things you can get it to almost put ringtones on things. You can get it uh, when you click on advanced options. Wow, look at all this stuff. You can say, well, if you know, if my name's in the CC and if it's from this person and blah 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 blah, and then what do I want to do with it? I want to permanently delete it. That's what April's talking about. And it warns you. Are you sure? I'm going to say, no, I don't really want to do that. Or move it to a folder, copy it. I don't really recommend doing any kind of copying because then you're going to have one in your inbox and one in the folder. I'm not sure if you really want that printing. Ugh, I don't know. But anyway, I'll kind of leave that up to you, that one. So to review, you've got right click, you've got rules up here as well. Right click, rules, um, create rule. It doesn't work anymore. Might not work on mine because I've got oh, I want to show you that one too. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a little bit about rules. And we'll probably come back to that when we talk about quick steps. Okay. And clean this up since the last one that I did. Okay. Um so so what I want to do here is I want to talk about finding emails. So here's a great example. Austin. He sends me this email and he says, I'm just following up. And I'm like, I didn't get that email. What the heck? Where is this email? Well, I mean, it's down below, but I want to make sure that I got it. So what would be the fastest way? And there's probably three answers to this, four answers to this. What would be the fastest way to find the other email that Austin sent me? Or all emails Austin sent me? What do you think would be the fastest way? Use the from option. Oh, Leslie, yay. That is my favorite one, the from option. So up here on the from bar, notice how received has a little triangle because we're sorted by received. And I'm actually going to click on a different email just before I go in here, just because I'm probably not on his. I'm looking for his. I'm going to hit from once and it sorts by them. And notice how at the bottom here it says pending package. That's the one that I was sitting on. I didn't want to be on Austin's because really the idea here is that I'm looking for something. So I'm probably not already on one. And all I do from here is start to type AUS for Austin. What? Isn't that cool? Come on, you guys. That's pretty cool. Leslie, you use that a lot. So no searching. You guys, I hardly ever go up to the search bar. I'll go up there if I'm saying, now who the heck sent me that email the other day about PowerPoint training? So I'll click up there and I'll type PowerPoint training, right? But for searching for people who have sent it to me, the only time I would use that up there is sometimes people will be in here two different ways or three. Austin might be in here as Austin Peters. He might be also in here as Peters Austin, or he might be in here at um, Austin Peters at, no, maybe not even Austin Peters, A Peters at Microsoft.com or something like that. So he might be in there a number of different ways. So if I can't find what I'm looking for, I could go up here and I could type Austin Peters, right? But that means everywhere that's going to come up. But what I like about this is remember that line that I was talking about? I can click on any of these lines and I can delete, shift delete, or just delete. And that just got rid of everything from whatever it was. Okay, Captain Cook, right click, Oh, but I have a fortune, a secret fortune. Oh my goodness. I might not have to do free Fridays anymore because I've got a a special for a secret fortune. Yep, yep, gone. Right. And I can even do a bunch of them. Click, shift click. That's going to do all of these groups. This is why I use a fake email and not my own email when I'm doing this part. Isn't that cool? What else can you do with that? Um, you can drag it. So maybe beauty, maybe that's beauty. I don't know. Animated direct, maybe that's beauty. I can take that line and I can drag that line down to beauty. And it put all three of those things in there, right? That cool? It put all of them in there. So think about that from a real person. Oh, Connor. Connor and I are working on looks like maybe we're working on a golf tournament together or something like that. I can take it, I can drag it. That one I might be more tempted to do like April does and do the rule because, what happens if I forget to put one in there or something like that. Anyway, that's pretty cool, hey? And you can do that with subject as well. So it groups it by the subject line. This is really handy if you send an email to a whole bunch of people and say, hey, what did you guys think? And they all send back, kind of, they're all sporadically throughout your inbox. You can sort it by subject. And as long as they've all hit reply, not created a new email with a different subject line, like some people do, then you can have all of them together and you can create it like that. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Um, I'm going to hit received. It takes me to wherever I was. I'm going to hit home. That takes me to the top. The other one, and I'm going to open up Austin for a minute here. And then, I don't really have to, but I just wanted to show you some of the things that are on the toolbar here. And right click would have worked as well. Move is here. Beauty. Some people don't realize that it's that easy to file something. I'm going to go over here where it says related. How many of you have been in there? Related messages in this conversation or messages from sender. So that maybe would have been the other alternative. That's probably my second choice. Show me all the messages from Austin Peters. Bang. And it basically does a search. And I don't think it's correct because I don't think that he was in all of those other ones. So I don't know about that one. But right click, find related messages from sender. Yeah, try that on your own. That seemed to bring up a lot on mine, but messages in this conversation have worked as well. And so that one works good if you've responded to him, right? If you and him have been going back and forth, it kind of brings them all up. The other one is conversation view. I'm going to go view. I'm going to go show as conversations. I'm going to say this folder. And what that does is it puts them into conversation view and it brings this little guy on the left-hand side up and it goes and gives me a chance to click on it and then it gives me the history. So I think some of you that use Gmail, this happens too. I don't use Gmail. I don't really like Gmail, but it brings it up to you. So what's nice about that is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to respond to this fellow. And I'm going to say to him, I'm going to say, reply. Come on, reply. Hi, Austin. I think you have the wrong Joanne. Cheers. Have a great day. Thanks. Whatever. Okay, I'm just going to send him. I just hit reply, nothing fancy, but I do want to show you how that shows up now in um, conversation view. So I'm going to close it and I'm going to open it again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And come on and look at that. So it has my sent in there. And that is one of the coolest things about this because how many of you actually ever go into your scent and clean it out? Maybe, maybe not, but this would be something where somebody you can say, well, what did you say to Austin? And you can go, well, this might be the fastest way to do that is to bring up the conversation and then find it here. So if him and I had been talking back and forth for 3 months, we'd see a whole bunch. We'd see Austin, Joanne, Austin, Joanne, Austin, Joanne, right? That's pretty cool. Now, rather than me going into the scent and finding it, there it is. I guess it's not that big of a deal. I don't have very many in here because I never use this account. Um, I'm going to show you one of my favorite tips. Okay, so I'm going to set this up. I'm going to say, let's say, and you guys tell me if you've ever done this, if you've ever gone to send an email and you send it and then you forget to send the attachment. Come on, who's done that? Who's done that? I have done that, right? Um, so what do you do? Well, you go to the sent and maybe you click on it and then maybe you hit forward and then you awkwardly say, sorry, man. Well, actually, for one thing, when you hit forward, then you have to put the person's name back in, or maybe it's a whole bunch of people. So that's kind of icky. I guess you could hit reply all and then do it, but then you have to hit, the attach or whatever, right? So what I want to show you is one of my favorite things. I'm going to go into a sent email. I have to actually go into it. I can't do it from outside of the screen. I can't do it with right click. And I'm going to go to actions and I'm going to say resend this message. You guys, I use this probably once a day because I'm always resending it to somebody different or cleaning it up and getting rid of their name and putting mine, somebody else's name. Someone will say, Joanne, can you send me some information about your free Fridays? Or maybe they don't ask. Some of you I sent this message to specifically and said, hey, did you hear about the Fridays, for free Fridays? So I went in to the last one I sent. I went resend this message. I got rid of one person's name. I put in somebody else. I made sure to, maybe I'll use Heather as an example. And I make sure to get rid of his name. And I mean, this isn't a very good example because it's very, very specific, but you get the idea, I hope, right? But it doesn't look like it was forwarded. And the idea about putting the attachment in, right? There you go, right? Oh, it looks like I'm trying to send a PowerPoint. I'm not really going to do that. But how many of you love that? The love that. So again, where is that? That is when you are in your sent items. Janet, go in your sent and double click on it. Then you're going to see it. If you don't see actions, then it might just smack be right there, but you have to be right inside it. A lot of people look for it from here. Nope, not going to work. I don't see actions at all here. Maybe Janet, that's where you were. Yay, right smack inside it. And then go actions. I bet you guys will use this a lot. Yeah, resend this message. Cool. Good. I love showing people the stuff that I use all the time. That's really cool to me. Okay, what else do we have there? Any questions about anything so far? What's your favorite tip so far? Gosh, new window, new window, new window, new window. This might be your favorite thing so far. So here you are, you're doing your thing in the day, and maybe oh, by the way, um, when you're using Conversation View, decide if you like to use it all the time or just sometimes, because what I find is that I only use it once in a while to go and, just kind of group things, right? Um, if I keep it on, then I sometimes will lose things if I'm not used to it. Like I'm looking for like Connor, he will only show up in my list once. But I'm like, Connor sent me something in August and I'm looking in my August emails. I can't find it. Oh no, I can't find it. What's going on? Well, it's because I still have Conversation View on and all the emails are in here, right? They're all in here, just like this one with Austin. He sent me an email a long time ago, back in well, it was just earlier this week actually, right? So so watch for that. and turn it off when you don't want it. So I'm going to turn it off for all my mailboxes. Yeah, turn it on, use it, turn it off. Now he'll be down there in Mondays or wherever it was as well. There he is right there. Okay. So here you go. You're in your inbox, and let's say that you want to go to your calendar, or you want to go to your contacts, or you want to go to sent items, right? I go back and forth between inbox and sent a lot because I go, like I said, I go and I bring up old emails that I sent and I redo it. So let's say that you're down here in your inbox and you're doing a bunch of stuff, and then you go over to your sent. Now you're in your sent and you're doing a bunch of stuff. And then you go back to your inbox, and that's just a lot of work. Sometimes you lose your place when you're in your inbox. It puts you back at the top and things like that. What I want to show you is the ability to right click on anything you see on the left-hand side and say open in new window. Okay, open in new window. And what that does is it opens whatever you just right clicked on in a new window. Okay, what's the purpose of that? How do I get back to my inbox? Well, look down at the bottom of my screen, and I'm actually showing you what I currently have. Now I'll have 2 cents because I have my Know It Sooner email running kind of in the background here. I have 3 mailboxes on this Outlook account, but the first window is my inbox. The second window is my calendar. I'm not going to bring that up because this is my real calendar, right? How often do you go back and forth between your inbox and your calendar? So I have my calendar sitting there waiting for me all the time. I have my contacts sitting there waiting for me. I have my sent items waiting for me. There's another mailbox that I manage for my Microsoft Office specialist training certifications. My reminders are there. I can turn that off. And there's the one that I just did. So that's how you go back and forth. You go that way back and forth. You don't go into, be clicking on the left-hand side. So the calendar, how did I do that? Right click, open a new window. Now, if you find that that might be a really cool thing for you, here's the thing that you want to remember. When you close your Outlook at the end of the day, you don't want to have to be doing all that right click, open a new window the next time. So what you do is you don't use the close in the top right hand corner. You go to kind of your main one and you go File, Exit. And when you do that, the next time you come into it, then it will be the same layout that it was before. So that's super important. Okay, let me say that again. In order to make it come back this way, like I just hit Outlook in the morning and boom, 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 boom. All these little windows come up. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so File, Exit. Not going to do it now because it takes too long to come back in. Love that one? Anybody like that one? That might be your new favorite one. I love it for my calendar because I do classes and meetings, and much like you guys probably have a zillion meetings, so you want to have really quick access to that. All right. Good. Denise loves it. Yay. Okay. All right. So sorting and searching, we kind of did that a little bit. We didn't do a lot with sorting, but when you click up here, you get this whole new bar. And some people don't even pay any attention to that. They just start typing what they want. But you can get more specific about what you want. If you're using categories, you can tell it what you want. You can do this one, has attachments. Click on that. So if you're looking for, I don't know, something that somebody emailed you. Oh, look at that. I've got all these these ones. Okay, now there's the one from June, blah, 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 right? Don't forget that you've done that though. Close it, close your search. Now you're back to the way that it was. Oh, I have to know what Austin said to me. Probably thank you, sorry. Yeah, yeah. So no Ron. Ron, I'm gonna blame Ron, whoever Ron is. I have no idea. Okay, there we go. So that's a little bit about searching and sorting. Um, and then we've got the idea about dragging things around. So So dragging. So I'm going to use my calendar and my tasks and my do I have tasks here? Yeah, my to do or my tasks, and some of them might not be on there. I'm gonna move this out of the way. There's my tasks down there. Yeah. Um, I'm going to drag to some of these places and you're going to see what happens. So let's just say that Austin and he said, okay, Joanne, I'm going to come and see you tomorrow. Okay. And so this is not even dragging. I could make, how many of you guys do meetings? I'm going to click on meeting. Boom. It creates a meeting with that person. Now, it doesn't know when to do it. It just kind of goes in the next half hour increment, sort of, because it's 12:37. So it's saying, how about 1 o'clock, right? So you would have to go in here. You have to go there. Blah, blah, blah. But what's nice is it puts the whole thing in for us. It puts the context of the meeting in with us. So that's really handy if it's things like Zoom links. When you guys got that confirmation from me, I guess that wasn't necessarily a meeting, but it's the same idea. The Zoom link confirmation after you registered, you could have just slid this right into your appointment. And sometimes you can it has options to do that, but not all the time. This one does a meeting. This one, if there was 20 people on this email, all 20 people would be there. And you'd be able to say, oof, no, I don't want to, I just only want 10 people. Boom, 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 click, 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 delete, 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 right? So that's pretty cool. Don't save changes. So let's say it's not really a meeting, it's just with Austin, right? So that's an appointment. An appointment is with a person, usually. A meeting is with more people. So A for appointment, a person, M for meeting, more people. I'm going to drag Austin up to the calendar. And it basically does the same thing, but it's just an appointment. It's not a meeting. So I would be able to pick it. And this is what I do probably 3 times a week because I get these Zoom things back and I drag it to my calendar. I fix the date and the time. Sometimes I forget and it reminds me in 15 minutes that I have a Zoom call. I'm like, no, that was for like next Thursday. Okay, I go in and fix it. Isn't that one cool? Now, sometimes it messes up a little bit. Here's a good example. So it looks like he sent me an attachment, right? It's probably some kind of a PDF or something that quote or something like that, right? Okay. So I'm going to close out of this here and I'm going to try it with that one. And I want you to see where that one's not so great. This would be a great one to see, right? Like this would be like, oh, I want the attachment there. I'm going to maximize that. What happened to the attachment? What happened to the attachment? Oh no. Here's a copy of the special order form. Where? I don't see it. I don't see it. You know what you do? Have you ever right-clicked and dragged something before? Today's the day that we do that. Right-click and drag it to the calendar, and it comes up and it'll ask us. It's actually asking me over on the other side, and I hate how it does that. Oh man. Let me switch my share here for a second. But if you're trying this on your own, then it should share. I gotta share this screen. I never share this screen. So I'm gonna try that again. It disappeared on me. Where's that attachment? And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a true attachment. So I'm just dragging it up there again. Now, do you see it on the top left-hand corner of my, yeah, it went away again. As soon as I click somewhere, it goes away. So it says copy here as attachment with text, copy here as appointment, copy here as appointment with attachment. So copy means it'll stay in your inbox. That's important in case you want to reply or forward. And move. I don't know if I'm that brave, but you could copy. There you go. And it's going to come up. I'm going to switch my, I hope you were able to see that. I hate how it does that. Sometimes it does. And there you go. So it put the whole thing in like the whole email, not just the actual PDF, but it put the whole thing in an attachment. So now I go into it and I'm actually in the whole email again. So you might have found the idea of dragging, but you're like, well, that doesn't work very well because the attachment doesn't come with it. So that's the trick to that is that you right click and drag it. You can do that to tasks as well. I'm going to take it to tasks, right click. This is a really good one if somebody is saying, "Hey, can you do these 17 things for me while I'm on holidays next week?" Right? You could go in here and say, "Okay, well, again, I could probably spend an hour on tasks alone." Yeah. Mm. Isn't that cool? You guys would use this a lot. So again, you can work on the task thing on your own, but yes, it's in there. And you can drag other stuff to that. I'm going to drag it over as far as I can to the left, and then it's going to ask me which one I want to go with it. I'm going to pick this one. You can drag other stuff into that too. So I've just got it side by side here. I'm going to drag that email into there. And then there was another one down here that maybe I want, I don't know, Connor, he's involved too. So I'm going to drag that one in there. You guys, this is a task I'm dragging it into, but it could be an appointment. It could be an email. I think it can even be a contact. There's Tim's, right? And I've got all these things in there, all these emails in one, and they're still in my inbox. Okay. So I could save and close that. There it is. So if that was an email, I could drag it over. And I could say, hey, can you review these 6 emails that I received from so and so? Instead of doing what? Forward, 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 forward. You gotta like that one, hey? So you can forward them all in one email. Love that one. Don't go too overboard and put too many in there. Okay, good. Hoping you're liking that one too. Okay, one more that I'll do. And does Austin have a signature? No, he doesn't. Dang it. Does Tim have a signature? It doesn't really matter. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay. I have no idea who this is. Somebody again signed up with something. So I want to keep this email. Tim is now one of my people. So a couple different ways to add Tim to my Outlook. I could go up to him and I could right click on his name and I could say add to Outlook contacts. And in all honesty, I do this a lot. I'll do this to somebody I see in the CC, right? Hi Joanne, I'm thanks for your interest. I'm CCing my manager on this, blah 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 blah. I'll right click and I'll add them. Do it all the time. Okay. But what I love about this next way is I'm going to go and I'm going to right click and drag. Well, let's do the left click and drag first. Left click and drag up to contacts. And look what this does. It puts them in there. Yeah, just like it did before. It would have before, but it puts a whole, it's kind of ugly. It puts right? It puts all the information that was in that email. So when you get welcome emails, this is a fantastic thing to do. It's kind of ugly, kind of ugly. What can we do? Let's try this. Right click to contacts. Maybe it doesn't work on that one. Is it doing it? It is probably on my other screen. Copy here as contact with attachment. That's what it's saying to me. So now there it is. And then I can double click on the attachment and it'll open it up. So it'll always keep that in there. I believe it'll even keep it if I delete the email. I believe because it's a copy. Isn't that cool? So now I can go in and I can look at it. And I actually sit there and this is what I do sometimes is I'll sit here and I'll drag all this information and I'll hit copy and I'll stick it right here and I'll select it, and then I'll drag it up to job title. I guess I'd have to type in the company name, and then I'll put this, copy in the business address, and then, right? Yeah, let's just do the phone number. Office phone number, select it, copy it, business. I always go one, just because then I can call him from wherever I am. I might be in the same area code or not. That's maybe that doesn't apply to some places that you are in, but it does with me. That if you try to do it without a one and it's long distance, it kind of comes up and it says you can't do that because it's long distance. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do it anyway, but yeah. So if it wasn't a really fancy one, then you wouldn't even have to go into that other one, right? So yeah, I have probably 2,000 people in my contacts, and this is how I've gotten most of them, is when they send me an email, I'll either just right click, add to contacts, do whatever I need to do, met at Edmonton Chamber of Commerce event, October 2025, for whatever, or do whatever. Okay. So that's a cool one as far as dragging. And then we've got our folders, rules, and quick steps. So I talked a little bit about the folders earlier, where I usually go in and um, I'll go in and create them under saved emails. Saved emails, there's all my beauty ones, right? So, and we saw how we could automatically make them come in there. If you want to stop and think about it first, right? Like maybe Austin, well, I don't want it going in there. I get so much stuff from him, let's just say, and I don't want everything going in there automatically, but I want a nice, quick, easy way to do that. So what I could do is I could go into his email. Mm, I'm gonna go, actually, this isn't necessarily his emails that are gonna go in there. This is just a file in cars or beauty, whatever. I'm going to right click on saved email. I'm going to go new folder. I'm going to put cars, car buying or something like that. And I will do stuff like this because if I'm on a mission to maybe I'm looking for a new car and I go out and I talk to, you know, 10 different people, um, and I'll be getting a whole bunch of these. I'll want to read it and then I'll want a very quick way to file it. So this is what I would do if it's just kind of like almost like a temporary thing. I think I mentioned this before. I'm in his email and I just go to move and I go cars, right? It's right there. Some of you will have a lot of folders there, right? So maybe I do cars right now and then I use my other 10 folders and I don't have cars there anymore, right? And I think I mentioned as well, you've got right click move. You've got that as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to quick steps and we're going to go, there's a create new, there's this little guy right here. Hopefully you can see that, quick steps. That's the one I like. And then there's this one down at the bottom. That one is good as well. But I like this kind of this middle one here, quick steps. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go new quick step and I'm going to say move to folder. And what does it say? It says move to, I'm going to go move to cars. And it says, well, please pick a folder. I'm not smart enough to figure out that that's where you want to move it to. And then you can go into options and you can do a bunch of other things. You can take a look at that kind of on your own, but you can move it to that folder. Now it doesn't do, oh, you can put a shortcut key on it too. It doesn't do anything unless you click on that button. So this would be the idea, right? You're in your email and you open it up and blah 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 blah. Oh, I want to move this to cars. Done. Oh, I actually want to move that one to cars too. This one, yeah, move to cars. So is it easier than dragging and dragging and dragging? Maybe, Maybe not. Maybe it's just as easy to do that. But you don't even have to have this open. You don't even have to see it down there. You just have to be able to see it up here. So that one's a pretty easy one. Now, what else did we see in there? New quick steps. We see you can send a new email to somebody. So if you're repeating an email to people all the time, um, this is a reminder that there's a staff meeting coming up this week. Please remember to bring your binders or whatever. You can create an email and you can have it sitting there. You could call it staff email, staff meeting email. And once a week, you go and click on staff meeting email, right? Isn't that neat? So almost even better than that resend. And you can go in and you can put all your people in there, right? You can add actions, you can put text in there. What's the text? Show options. There we go. Reminder that this Friday's staff meeting at 10 o'clock going to be held in the lunchroom. Please bring your safety statistics, blah, blah, blah. Put a subject line on it, put different people in the CC and BCC. And then once a week, all you would have to do is say, well, I'm ready to send my reminder. Click, and it's done. And you've got a forward to, if you're like, oh, I need to forward this to my manager. This one's not set up yet, but you would set it up. You would go here and you would say, I want to set up a forward rule. I used to do that when I worked in an office, forward to, and it had my boss's name, Ian, forward to Ian, and it would have his name in there. And that's it. That's how easy it would be. Just click forward, click forward. Could even do a whole bunch of them. Click forward. No, maybe not. I thought I could. I guess you can't forward a bunch. You'd have to do that other thing that I was talking about. Yeah. So that one's a good one. Okay, we have a question. If you're sending a meeting invite to a large group, what is the best way to limit responses? Who am I talking to there? Free Fridays Outlook. Um, you could use Angela. Okay, thanks. You could use a rule. And I do that with emails that I send, like just emails, not meeting invites. Um, yeah, you get one back, and then you could right click on it and do a rule. That's one way that you could do it. Always move messages from. It wouldn't be the from though. It would be with that subject line. You wouldn't do it that way. You would do it. Uh, do, do, do. You would go create rule, and then you would go subject contains. And then that should have whatever subject line is on the response. So if it was a safety meeting on Friday and it said safety meeting October 25th, then if it contained safety meeting, um, then yeah. So that should work, and it automatically goes in there. So Angela, on that, let me just double check how much more stuff. I think that's it actually that I had to talk about. But and it's hard for me to set up an example for that right now. But if you create a meeting, if you create a meeting, let me just see here. Create a meeting. Ah, if you create a meeting. Oh my gosh. Where's my meeting? You create a meeting, new items meeting. Let's do it this way. Okay. And you put all your people in that you're inviting, and then afterwards, you go into your meeting. There'll be a tracking tab that you can see how many people accepted. Okay. I'm going to send this to a couple of people. I'm going to pick on Heather. She's my mommy. And I'm going to pick on Janet because I can. Okay. And if you guys, if you're on your computer, would you, if you wouldn't mind just saying um what saying you're coming. What yeah, say you're coming. Test message meeting. Test meeting. Yeah. That's all I want to say. Let's make it for later today, just so that it doesn't come up with that. I'm putting you guys on the spot. Without a location, yes. Okay. And actually, you don't even really need to, uh, don't even really need to, how do I see that now? Because that's in my thingy thing here. Yeah. But you can go into your appointment and you can go to that spot. Let's go to this one. It's more challenging because I've got the different. I've got an Outlook account and it doesn't have a calendar. But anyway, you can go into your meeting and you can go into here and there'll be a tracking tab. Does that make sense? I'll show it to you. Outlook meeting tracking tab. Is it going to pick that up? I love how it loves it. Images. Let's see. It's going to show us. This is challenging sometimes for me to do this. Yeah, so you would go in, oh, that's very tiny. But there it is. So can you see that? So this would be the meeting and there's all the people that they invited. Try to make that bigger. Ah, yeah, they don't want all the responses. Yeah. Yeah, so just try that. Um, and then there you go. So the meeting organizer would be at the beginning, and there's this Joseph, and he's accepted. And then it'll say somewhere as well, I don't see it on this particular screen, but it'll say somewhere that there has been one person has accepted and two have declined or something like that. So try it out. Try it on with some friends um, and get them to accept or decline or something, and then go into your tracking tab and you'll be able to see it. One thing I don't like about it is that you can't see if they sent a response like, oh, yes, I'll come. What do you want me to bring? You can't see those things unless you actually open up the responses. So this is a good tally though. So when you see how many people accepted, this is a good tally. And you can change those as well. You can change those things too. You know, see somebody in the hall and you say, hey, you haven't responded yet. Oh yeah, I was just waiting to see if I could come. Yeah, I can come. I'll come. So you go back to the meeting and you can change the none response to accepted. So I hope that helps. Okay. Anything else, you guys? Anything new and life-changing for you there? Some of my favorite things that I use. Anybody have any that they use that they want to quickly share? Okay. Um, all right. Well, that is fantastic then that I got to share these things with you because it's if one person thinks it's pretty exciting, then you know there's a chance that that other people will as well. So this means a lot to me that you're able to to love these things. And I'm going to put in the chat, and you should click on it before you leave, so that you have it. Here's a spot to give me a little Yelp review, if you please wouldn't mind doing that. And people are always saying, "Yeah, I like these. This is so handy. This is so great." If you wouldn't mind giving me a little little, oops, I think I just sent that to one person. That's another issue when somebody sends you a direct message, then the next time you go to send it, it goes back directly to that other person. Okay. Thank you for replying to my accepting my meeting. Yeah. Yeah. Hey Ryan, how are you? My cousin is here. I'm calendar. Yeah. Yeah, I use that all the time. All the time. And I also use the new window thing in I've been doing it forever on in browsers and also on in File Explorer, right? When you're looking at all your files and you're like, oh, I want to keep that, but I want to jump over to this other spot. That new window and new tab has been there for a long time. Notifications is fun. Creating a meeting. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love the meeting one. For those of you that get a whole, there's like 10 people on the email, then the clicking on the meeting button is a pretty cool thing. Great. Well, again, thanks for coming. And next week is PowerPoint. So if you use any kind of uh, presentations at all, please come. A lot of people don't come to my PowerPoints because they think that they know everything that there is about it, but again, there's some cool little hidden things in there that I'd love to show you. A lot about animation this time. A lot about animation. So how do you get things flying up on the screen and things like that. And please get us to do this for one of for your department or for your team or for your company or whatever. It's super cheap. I can have 100 people online and it's the same price as as well, not really as one person, but anyway, it's more affordable than you might think to get some training. And nobody has time to come to classes anymore, it seems. So have me come in and do a lunchtime thing or whatever. So I can come in person or I can come virtually. All right. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. I look forward to all those reviews that you're going to give me and do the join my Know It Sooner Facebook group as well, and my YouTube channel. And let's get connected. Connect with me on LinkedIn as well. Did somebody have their hand up? Nope. Oh, that was probably me. Somehow I put my hand up, I think, when I do that. It puts it up. These goofy little things. All right. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Leslie. Denise, yay. April, yay. At least I know I have some people coming next time. And remember that if you can't watch it live, then it'll be on my YouTube channel. Not as fun.